Alright, everyone out there on YouTube, welcome to a slightly different video than usual, because, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I got my boy Avel here, MK1. Gameplay trailer dropped yesterday. And guys, let me tell you this, Avel and me, we haven't slept. Avel, you can show them your notes real quick. Guys, because we were actually busy. For one time, Avel and me, we actually worked. Look at this. We have so many notes because we spent hours breaking the entire trailer down for you. And that means you are going to see a lot of different analytic videos here about MK1 from our perspective. Just to give you guys a summary, if you're maybe new here to the YouTube channel, Avel and me, we are the hosts of Rips Arena right now in the world. We can pretty proudly say, Avel, the biggest Mortal Kombat tournament in the entire world. $60,000 paid to the players in 1.5 years. And of course, we are more than excited for MK1 and for the entire scene. And that's what we're here for, right? So Avel and me, we are going to try to give you guys some insights, of course, from our perspective, what we think is interesting, because we watched the trailer now at least 112 times, full length, in slow motion, on 1% speed, frame by frame, to see what might be interesting for you guys out there. So thanks for being here. And Avel, what do you think? What should we start with?
I think the thing that interested people the most, of course, Rips, is the new mechanic in Mortal Kombat. And it is the cameo mechanic, in my opinion. And we're gonna talk about it.
Yes, we have to. Because there are so many interesting aspects in terms of the cameo system. Ed here on stage talked about it, so we have the video in the background for you guys, so we can actually show you what we are talking about. And Avel, there is so much to cover. This is going to be a very long series, probably 4, 5, 6, maybe 10 videos about different breakdowns. But yeah, we just dive in and we're going to do this on the flight here. So let's dive into the cameo select. Here it is, Avel. That's where Ed talks about it. The cameo system itself.
If they put it full screen, you can freeze the frame then. The character, first of all, people are interested in those. And on screen, we see Kano, we see Sonya, and we see Jax. But also, what we see in the trailer itself are Sub-Zero, Kung Lao, and Stryker. And now the interesting part is... I think Ed Boon explained it a bit wrong when he talked about how you can play sub with sub. I think, actually, since you can kind of see it from the outfits that the characters wear, that all the Cameo Fighters are kind of like legacy characters.
Yes.
And when you look in the in-game footage, all the characters, Stryker and both Kung Lao and Sub-Zero, wore their legacy outfit while they were a Cameo Fighter Rips. So... you have both in the main fighting screen, you have Sub-Zero, but also in the cameo fight select, you will have a Sub-Zero. So it's not like how I expected it to be, that you can go back in the normal fighting, in the normal select screen and pick Sub-Zero again. No, I think he's going to be a full-blooded cameo fighter as well.
Yes, I think so as well. So you basically have cameos which represent, can we call them legacy fighters? They have their old school outfits, and what we saw in the trailer as well is they have their OG legacy move, right? We see that with Kung Lao later on. Very, very interesting to cover here. So I think you are right. The main characters can be cameos, but they are basically completely built into the game as a specific cameo edition.
You can basically combine these two characters. All the characters can be combined with
the thing is, we of course have to pay attention how they are using the fight. Right now we see the new transition into the game, which is one of the best additions I've ever seen. Because already confirmed from an NRS developer on Twitter, Avel, the intros are gone. That means the unique, specific intros are now happening in the character select screen.
How does that work?
What I think is a great change, Rips, because usually we don't get to see those intros because mostly players just skip them. But now we are kind of forced to, but not forced to as well, to see them because they are just in the loading screen. So it's a great change.
And I like it. Yeah, covers the load time as well. So it's definitely an upgrade, and I've never thought about using it like that. I think everyone in the community thought the clash system from Injustice is back when we saw it the very, very first time.
Yeah.
But the way they implemented it, super smart, and I love every single second of it. And here we see the first gameplay, Abel, especially in terms of Cameo.
Yeah. I mean, you right now we can see the layout of the game, the HUD of the game, right? We have the bars down under our cameras right there.
Yep.
If you move me up a little bit, Rips, I can see it a bit better. There we go. You see the bars right there. And Ed Boon said as well, he himself said it, we will have 5 meters in total, 2 for Cameo and 3 for your own character. If they're regenerative or not, we don't know that right now, because what we see on screen are like they're kind of locked in always having maximum meters, so we cannot say that or cannot confirm that for the moment. But the thing we can also see on screen is the button we're gonna use for Cameo Rips, and it's the R1 button or LB left button for Xbox player, and that's really interesting because of that button right there, Rips, one huge thing from NRS game is gone. And would you like to tell me what it is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're talking about interactables, Abel, because that's what usually the R1 button is for. And you guys can see it at the top below the health bars. You see, for example, under Sonya, under Kano, R1 button is used to summon your Cameo fighter. And I think Ed even talked about it in detail. I mean, we watched the trailer so many times, Abel. He said you can summon your Cameo fighter with one button, but then you can specify what they should do. So you have, I assume, 4 different inputs. That means R1 forward, R1 up, down, or back. Back maybe even being the breaker.
Could be, because we saw in other clips as well, we not see it right here, but when you break in this game, your Cameo fighter comes out and pushes the enemy away. So R1 back could be the new breaker and would be a great change for Mortal Kombat, of course, because the old input was a bit slacking and you got a lot of misinputs. And let's hope it is going to be like that. But moving on.
We see here, real quick, Abel, before we forget it, guys, there seems to be an input window, like a buffer where you can tell your Cameo what to do. So you see, for example, whenever the Cameo fighter is on screen, your main character goes into like a freeze state. And I'm pretty sure as long as that freeze state is there, you can basically tell your Cameo fighter what to do by pressing forward, up, down, maybe back.
Yeah, there might be a thing you can do. Maybe it works like that. Maybe you just unlock. It can both happen because the character is really locked in place right there. I mean, right there, it's just a forward throw. I think it's a forward throw, so you can kind of combo your throws with your Cameo, so it's a cool visual effect as well. So yeah, that's really interesting.
Another thing, Abel, 11% damage only here, shown at the very, very top, right? Compared to our, I mean, OG in MK11, it was 14%, got nerfed down to 13%. And now nerfed down even more, 11%.
Yeah, I mean, it's, in my opinion, one good change. Because you slow down the game a bit more with 11 frame throws. We did not see command grabs till now, so it's going to be interesting to see more. But
indefinitely, but
let's see.
I agree.
You can call them pretty much.
So there, right there, that was interesting. If you go back a little bit, where you see Kenshi pulling in Kano right there, throwing a projectile. And that's really interesting because in another scene we saw somebody combo from this, and right here Kenshi actually did not combo from it. So it's a tight window as well. So you gotta be clean with your Cameo fighter.
And there's the break.
Yeah.
We just saw it here.
Whenever you want. And they have, like in the
so the combo potential, Abel, it looks so much bigger, so much more unique. What we had in MK11.
Yeah, that is one big change. But talking about the different buttons as well you can use with the Cameo. I mean, we saw Kano and Sonya both throw their Cameo projectile there. You saw it with Kano throwing both his knife and Sonya coming in and shooting her onion rings, right? So that's one Cameo direction. Like, let's say R1 forward might be Cameo into a fireball.
It might be.
Or projectile.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so overall, it's going to be a great addition, in my opinion, because it just brings more entertainment to the viewers as well, I think. The fights look way more spectacular. You have more stuff going on at the same time, but it is still not confirmed if this is actually going to be the standard game mode. We still don't know if there might be a 1v1 feature as well.
Yeah. Staying with Cameo though, the next interesting part about cameos are the different way you can use them in your combo rips. So we have, let me see. That's a restand combo right there from Kung Lao. Not restand combo, but restand special. It's pretty cool.
Looks like the forward 2 launcher, that overhead combo starter, and very, very hard knockdown after that slide as well.
Into really, really good Oki.
Let's take a look at the combos here. I think that's the perfect scene, Abel. We have there Liu Kang in action.
Yeah.
And there's Jax.
Yeah. Really interesting situation right there. Me and Rips talked about it a lot actually before we started, because it is really specific. Because as you can see, while Jax comes out, he does an air grab. And that is really specific right there. As you can see, air grab, puts him on his shoulder, kind of launches him again, throwing him forward, and Liu Kang with the perfect follow-up with the dragon kick, with the fireball into the dragon kick. The question now is this telegraphed? Like, will this always happen with Liu Kang and Jax? Or can other characters do they have also like unique enders?
That is right.
Or, do we need to press any unique inputs as well for those, or do they just happen if you call out Jax? That's one interesting thing.
Yes.
We do not have too much information on, but it looks interesting.
It looks super interesting. And what we mean is it looks like a super specific interaction between Liu and Jax, which makes this combo actually work. Because you can see it, there's the original launch coming from Liu Kang. Jax picks it up, and now look how early we see the startup of the dragon. There it is already, so there is no hit stun, Abel, nothing. It is immediately there. Here, do we see the landing? And there is already. So, look at the distance between Liu Kang and his Cameo Fighter, right? You can't cover that with a regular dash or anything. I'm pretty sure the hit stun before that is too big. And the way this combo now works is that Liu Kang fully converts after his projectile dragon, let's call it like that, and then continues it into an ender.
We see later another instance of that with Kano and Raiden, but let's see though. Yeah, beautiful animations right there from NRS.
Yes, the animations look super, super crisp. And we can actually take a little look here at the sequence with Raiden, where we see something similar. There it is.
Yeah, that's the first Raiden sequence right there. Wait. Actually, we can look at both of those sequences. Yeah. So we have the Melina sequence here, doing a teleport. I cannot confirm if this is if this is a full combo right here. It is hard to say after teleports, but let's just assume it is one. Anyways, Goro coming out, doing his 1,000 punches. And right here, as you can see, the way Goro launches the opponent is just a little bit above ground. And since we didn't talk about it on purpose, since the new thing in MK1 are these new air combos you can do, right? Goro did a launch right there that does not confirm into an air combo. We're gonna see that, but we're gonna see that a bit later though. But yeah, beautiful. Does a normal launcher though. Nice combo from Melina. But now the Raiden sequence. That's what I was talking about.
So here
now,
by the way, another thing we talked about in the beginning, Abel, legacy launching move. Even though it looks like a little bit out of place. Our original thought when you saw, wait, it looks strange. But now after thinking about it, 30 years anniversary, having this old school vibe in a next-gen game. After thinking about it, I like it, Abel.
Not only that, Rips, but before you keep on going, that still goes in with those Cameo Fighters being only legacy characters with having legacy moves. That is Kung Lao's legacy animation as well of the spin.
Yeah.
So it is an interesting touch, and that's what I think still gonna be the Cameo Fighters. Only legacy characters with their OG moves. But yeah, right there, as you can see, the legacy Kung Lao comes in, does his launcher, but this time, not like Goro. As you can see here, he does a normal launcher.
Yes.
The legacy Kung Lao comes in and does his Cameo launcher that gives him an air combo right there.
Yeah.
So you have your differences in the Cameo Fighters, how they launch. So you have a Cameo Fighter who gives you a launcher into air combos, or you have a Cameo Fighter like Goro who gives you a normal launches that keeps your opponent on the ground.
Yep. And what I think is interesting, what we have to find out later, is if maybe every single Cameo Fighter has the ability to keep the opponent grounded into a normal combo. For example, R1 forward is always grounded combo interaction, or R1 up, for example, always goes for the launch in the air, so then you can continue the entire combo in the air by spending more bars. We saw that in the Scorpion sequence as well, where we see the little flash animation basically telling us, okay, this is an amplified move, this meter was spent for this one. Interesting.
Yep. Yeah, we come back to that. That's just a cool animation right there. Bring out the Cameo for a command grab. Yep. There's the breaker again. Beautiful. And yeah, that's just a...
Yeah, and that is going to be another interesting thing here in the end, though. The way Fatal Blow now works. One of the most hated things in MK11, I would say. We hear this on a daily basis. That players hate that there is like no startup, no freeze frame in front of it. And you can just press it in neutral and, yeah, basically catch your opponent off guard. So that's a big change. Reminds me a little bit of old Injustice. Even Tekken, right? Tekken has it like that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of iconic to the Injustice games, right? You press the X-Ray or Fatal Blow button, depends on what they call it in this game. The character goes in like a stance move, like in a mini cutscene, does a little scream, and then goes into his X-Ray move. So that's their touch on a way nerfing Fatal Blows, even though I think when we saw the health bar, we're still going to have the Fatal Blow and the 30% HP marker. So it's a nice way to nerf it down a bit or tone it down a bit, the power of the Fatal Blow.
Yep. So in generally speaking about the Cameo system, I think we can say that it is a little bit unexpected the way they implemented it, because when I've originally heard about it, I thought this is going to be a 2v2 fighter, right? That's what I thought. We had the announcement of Project L, for example, which is going to be a straight-up 2v2 fighter.
Yeah.
It feels a little bit to me, Abel, like Cameos are replacing the variation system.
Yeah. I talked about it a lot of times when I heard NRS talk about it, and when they put out an FAQ on how the Cameo system works, right? A separate fighter. It's basically you have your main character with all your cool moves and stuff like this, legacy moves, whatever, right? And then you can kind of pick an extra variation with your Cameo fighter that you can mix up your own character with. So you kind of have like a better way of saying we have new variations with more eye candy to watch and cooler and longer combos as well, without sacrificing losing other moves.
Yep. So overall, I think it's a great addition when we get complete main characters. And then you can maybe just give it a little bit uniqueness by choosing a different Cameo fighter, different combo routes, maybe potentially. We have to figure that out in the future. I'm pretty sure we get more content very, very soon, because NRS, whenever they officially announce something, then that's when they go crazy.
Yeah. So the next thing we would like to talk about are the air combos.
Yes.
Because they are actually really interesting, and in my opinion, are the second thing that is the newest in the NRS games, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like in MK1 especially.
Yep.
So the combination, and you see,
so for the very, very first time, we see actually, and I don't know what kind of footage we actually show. I think we show the Scorpion
it is
one,
okay.
Right?
I mean, this is okay. You can show this one as well. Like if you go back, like when Sub-Zero does his first one.
Yeah,
right here.
Oh, I see. So you can bring them in a combo. Almost.
So we see a dive kick from Sub-Zero going into his overhead, and as you can see, his overhead now is an instant air combo launcher.
Yep.
And the great thing, as you can see, mid-air, he calls his cameo, and Sonya does a move right there. So he can re-juggle him in the air, and he does another jump into another air combo, into an air combo ender.
Yep. So the gravity is way different than what we have right now in MK11.
Yeah. So basically, now in MK1, we have something I would say that is new. We have air strings in this game. As you can see, Kenshi does an air string right there, 3 hits. As you can see, it was an ender.
Yep.
So really, really cool.
Yep, super cool. And that's one of the biggest changes ever, especially seeing it here in the background. It seems like every single character has a meterless launcher. It wasn't like that in MK11. We see it here. It looks like Sub-Zero's forward 2. That overhead is gonna launch without him having to spend bar. And only for the summoning or continuing the combo in air. That's where we see meter burn.
Yeah, you can definitely see. Yeah, also if you call in your cameo, I think you spend a meter. They didn't specifically really talk about it that much, but that combo might have cost some meters, but we cannot say it for sure because, like we said, in that trailer, especially right here, they didn't show meter usage because they had some kind of mod on that they don't lose meter. And I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah. Another thing I just realized, Abel, another big question, you mentioned it, we can't see the exact meter burn here, but with every single hit, you see that the cameo bar at the very top is affected as well. You see how it turns red here?
Yeah.
It might be that you have to earn your meter again. It might be the case. We see that with every single hit. Not only the health bar affected, see, it always has the impact shown in the cameo bar as well.
Yeah.
And they have, you know, like in the middle of a combo, they'll have a lot of...
yeah, it will be really interesting. Also, how the breakers will work. Will you spend your cameo meter or will you spend your own meter? I think you're going to spend your cameo meter, so you cannot call your cameo out anymore.
I think so too.
To use it. And if it is like that, it is actually really interesting and makes people not break maybe because the Cameo Fighters look really, really promising in this game.
Yeah, but that's definitely one of the biggest changes here going into the next title.
Yeah, those cameos and those air combos. I mean, yeah, going back to the first video, we see some more air combos and we might talk about it as well. I mean, right there is pretty cool. You can see that there is a launcher. I don't know if it's meterless, but Kung Lao doing a launcher right there, like a string into a launching move. Big recovery, by the way, on the throw.
Yes, that is a good point. And throws still seem to be a high because there's a neutral duck.
Yeah, that's meter bond right there. You saw it.
Yep.
So you have characters like Kung Lao. I mean, Kung Lao has always been known for air combos, but yeah, he spends his bar, goes airborne, dive kicks down, and does a normal combo. So you have so much variety in those combos. I mean, Kung Lao will probably thrive off it. He will probably do like an starter, goes into air combo, amplifies to get his cameo out, jumps again, goes down with dive kick, and ends his string. You have so many things to do there.
Yep.
Yeah, there is a little animation for the fatal blow.
Yeah.
Yeah, fatal blow. Who had? Wait, let me look. Let's see if we get another air combo here. Shout out to the NOS design team. Those stages look so gorgeous. Oh yeah, that's
the biggest one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can talk about it. You found it.
So we definitely see here once again, that's what we talked about the Jack sequence earlier, but when we take a look at Scorpion and the way it works, in MK11 back then, we had the spear. If you want to hit confirm that or continue the combo, you have to spend bar. We don't see any indication here in the trailer that this costs bar at all. So the spear seems to always be a fully confirmable restand, where you can't block after, and only after Scorpion goes for this launch. So all this didn't cost any bar so far. And here we see the first flash animation. just to continue the combo mid-air. And the main question I think the entire community has is, does every single character in MK1 has access to a meterless launcher?
Yeah, I think the way they want to balance out this game is they gave everybody a meterless air combo launcher and a meterless normal launcher, as we saw with Liu Kang as well. If we can see the first combo right there. Yeah, like right before that.
Yep.
Yeah, just put it from here. Yeah. So we see Liu Kang do here a 7-frame string into a meterless launcher. This is also this is an air combo right here. This launch is so high, I think, yeah, you can get an air combo right there. But goes for the standing 3-3 into the Jax. So it is really interesting with the meterless combos, and I think every character will have one. One interesting thing right there, Ribs, I asked you, talked about it with you also. Will we have air special moves, or are we just allowed to amplify our air strings? I would just call them that right now because it's in the air strings. So that's one big thing we don't know about right now. But yeah, that Scorpion string right there in the air, it looked like a string that he amplified. That's why he got the extender, went back down to the ground and ended it with a special move.
Yes,
really interesting.
But yeah, that is basically the biggest change we saw so far, or now after having the actual showcase happened in terms of the cameos. I think it is unexpected in the end, but I gotta say, overall, I think it is a great addition for the franchise and for us speaking here as tournament organizers for the game. I think it's gonna be a blast to watch for a big audience as well. It makes the game look more interesting.
I mean, yeah, if you just go through all the points, I mean, we have extra character with Cameo, and I always talk about it. It's just eye candy, right? You see two characters on the screen doing a cool tag team combo, and it's gonna be so unique because everybody gonna have a different character with a different Cameo character as well. So we're gonna have so many mix-ups, and then you can like combo it in the air with your Cameo, on the ground with your Cameo. And we saw it in the trailer as well. Jax has like an extender in his Cameo where he grabs you out of the air, right? Then you have, we didn't see it there, but Kano's doing something with his laser after a special move. You have Kung Lao with the spin move, of course, and you have so many unique interactions now, I think, in the Cameo system that it's going to be exciting as a combo standpoint. I mean, it's just all those things, air special, air combos, and the cameos are just there for having more varieties of combos and more things to look at, and it's going to be so entertaining to watch as well.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things the current community is just tired of. They say the game is a little bit boring to watch. It's always the same. So we're happy that we get something fresh. I can't wait for it. But I think Abel here as a first video, that is basically it. And I think the next time, guys, so definitely feel free to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, because Abel and me, we're actually going to drop a few videos. I think the next one we're going to talk about is very, very character specific, where we compare loadouts or movesets in general, where we say, okay, wait, let's compare Sub-Zero, MK1 to MK11 to MKX, see how this one turns out. So guys, if you like this format, let us know in the comments. But for now, Abel and me are out, and I'm going to catch you guys very, very soon. Later.